What about your boy? What everybody? It's your boy Goosebumps Shen back out of the not Goosebumps Shen. Sorry, fuck it. JRI Reviews, Joshua Reviews Incorporated, back at it with another video. You guys know it. Today I'm going to be reviewing Zombieland Double Tap. Honestly, I just got back from the film. Wasn't fucking amazing. Honestly, Zombieland came out in 2009. The first one came out in 2009, and we waited for 10 years for the second one. And honestly, they did whatever 10 years was great enough of a wait. It was very good, hilarious, hysterical. It made me laugh so many times. It was so many good. I love seeing Wichita, my boy Tallahassee, back in it, and again. This time my boy gets some actual love interest. Fuck yeah, he does. Columbus is back at it, and some newcomers: Nevada, Madison, Berkeley, I think his name is, and a bunch of other people. And the one cool thing I liked was meeting the weird other the duplicate versions of Tallahassee and Columbus, which is Albuquerque and Flat Wall, or whatever it is, or Flat Westman, or something, Flat Walls, or Flat Falls, and instead of, so you know how Columbus has his rules to survive, this other kid that is with him, it has has commandments, like, you know, in the biblical sense. And there's an episode they start comparing different versions of theirs. That was funny. Also, I love the scenes with Madison in it. They were funny as hell, especially the scene where after they go on a tour and they're in the Lincoln Room, and she starts to kiss him after recently technically going through a breakup with Wichita because she proposed and she ends up ditching him. And it's been a month, and the best scene is listen to me. I've been trapped. I've been living in a fucking freezer for I don't know how many, 10 years. Okay, for 10 fucking years. I will go. I swear to God, I will abandon all dignity and go fuck the old man. I swear to God, this good point. And then they just start fucking, and then and then Tallahassee hears it, and he says, "Well, he's definitely nutting, not upping, and not shutting up." And the best part was when they're walking away, and after the entire ordeal, they heard the sound, and he's going, and he says more like what's it called? What did he say? She really enjoyed her we both enjoy our cardio. And then he says, more for her, it was more like she was enjoying the little things. I burst. I lost it. There's there's more like, this is more like a video game in the fact that now there's distinction when it comes to zombies. Like, zombies have evolved into four different forms. There's the Hawking, which is like a smart zombie. There's the Homer, which is basically easy as fuck and stupid as hell, and will keep running, and will most likely give up at some point. There is literally how stupid this one scene where the Homer came in. A woman's being chased in the middle of winter, and the Homer ends up stopping to look at a thing and starts licking a statue frozen solid. His tongue gets stuck. He rips out his tongue. Then the lady ends up grabbing the sword from the statue and basically cuts off its head, killing it. There is the Hawking, which is like slightly smarter. The way they introduced that one was pretty cool. Basically, a guy's in a business lab or like a science lab, and he's running from this Hawking, and he does the eye fit, and he does it's an eye scanner, a retina scanner. He ends up getting in, and he's safe. And then the zombie kind of looks at, there's a dead scientist on the ground next to him. She bites out his eye, and then goes in and then has it in her mouth, and the eye scanner scans his eye, clears it, and then he ends up, the guys in there ends up getting eaten because the door opens, obviously. And then there is the ninja, which is basically you don't hear it until you're dead. Because the only last thing you'll hear is you're screaming, because it's very stealthy, it's very quiet, and it knows how to, and it hunts very well. And then there is finally the T-800. The T-800s is the new call them, which are like the best hunters, the strongest. It takes more than just a couple shots to kill them. You really need to like to bash in their heads to kill them. You can't shoot them in the head; it won't kill them. And fun fact is that the Albuquerque and the other guy have another name for them called boats, as in Usain Bolt, because they're really fast. And wow, they are fast. There were so many scenes that cracked me up. Specifically, the scene where they're a fight where Wichita comes back after 1 month and they both move on, and she basically says, "Well, you move on fast." And they're like him and Columbus are in like a squabble, and she says he goes back to Madison and he's like, "Madison, remind me again, did you point a gun at me when we first met and then steal the car?" And he's like, "No, no, you silly. I said you were smart, and I liked your rules, and you were cute. Or I thought you were smart, and I was joking, having fun with you, and playing with you, and I had sex with you," something like that. And she's like, "It's like, thank you. That's all I needed to hear." He basically just wrote me in the face. "Yeah, well, you're not the nicest person at all. You're like a bitch." And in the end, they end up getting together. Which, by the way, he proposes to her with the Hope Diamond. That thing is cursed. Like, it's legit cursed. I don't think you want to have that as a wedding ring. Originally, because the person who was giving it to was as a wedding ring, and she ended up dying. So, like a very horrible death. So yeah. But it was a great movie. Tallahassee is, like I said, is always going to be my favorite one. Even though I cannot stand Tallahassee, Florida, with all their rules for the schools and shit, and fucking pisses me off sometimes with their rules and shit with schools and all that type of shit. But other than that, Tallahassee is my favorite character. Nevada and Tallahassee are one of the coolest couples I think. They're just being created. Let's see. Tallahassee, this is a very heavily Elvis themed. One of my favorite scenes, my friend was telling me about it last night, but I just finally saw it, and it was so funny, is when they first meet Nevada, says, I'm about to murray you. And then they all look, he said, "Wait, what do you mean by murray you?" "Oh, it's like when it happens when you almost kill someone for them mistaking them for being a zombie." Yeah, apparently someone killed Bill Murray because of that, the same reason. And then they all, like, Tallahassee kind of looks at Columbus, and then Tallahassee starts, Columbus starts, babbling, like, I don't know, probably that sucks, and then she ends up getting in his face and listen to me. If I find out whoever did that, if I find that person who killed Bill Murray, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to murray him. And he's like, I would have said, good to know. that point, and then he says, in the end of the film, like when the crow starts running, I just want to apologize for killing Bill Murray. It was an accident, but just for my redemption, I'm going to show you 2009 outbreak or something like that. The first day zero of the outbreak, and apparently the first person to, or not the first person to turn, but one of the first few zombies was Al Roker, and it was a joke. I'm not sure was there a Garfield 3, but there wasn't. There was like a Garfield. There's only Garfield 2, but in the thing, it's Bill Murray, who played the voice of Garfield, is being interviewed about the new Garfield 3 and why everyone is doing it and blah blah blah. And it's just a gigantic scene of where he just starts kicking people's asses with weapons that he can find in this building. And he first kicks a person's ass he kills Al Rucker with a fucking chair. Says, "Al Rucker, huge fan." Damn, right there. Takes his camera guy gets killed. This lady ends up being says, Bill Murray, I'm a biggest fan. Oh, Ramos, please help me. Damn. And she gets eaten, she gets attacked, so, you know. And at one scene, he starts stabbing a ghost, and he says, or he hits a ghost, and he says, or he hits a zombie, says, I'm not afraid of no ghosts. I'm sorry, Bill Murray in that last scene. I'm not sure if it was the first time we got an end credit scene, but it was really funny, really good. Overall, if I had to give this movie a rating, I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10, even 10 out of 10. You know, fuck it, 10 out of 10. Great film, obviously great film. The one thing that really pissed me off though in the film, not in like a standpoint though, like not like it's acting wise or story wise, it's just survival wise. I don't like the hippie stronghold that the tone or Babylon, because when they get there, there's legitimately what's it there's legitimately, they say hand over weapons, and they burn they mount their weapons and make peace signs, and I was like, you were fucking retarded. And then literally at the end, they end up having to kill a bunch of T-800s in that way. And in the end, they end up Wichita and Wichita and Columbus end up supposedly just getting married, and they're leaving with Elvis's Cadillac from 1953, 55, whatever one. And which honestly was one of the greatest scenes ever. I love the ending because I love the ending song because it's My Temperature's Rising by Elvis Presley, and I honestly do love Elvis Presley. I love most of his songs. Granted, I only have like 2 of them on my phone, but the 2 I do have on my phone are Jailhouse Rock and Hound Dog. I might in the future get Temperature Rising and I think another one. I don't know which one. But those are my 2 favorite songs for Elvis Presley's. You know, what I was saying. I like Temperature Rising, but my 2 favorite songs are what's it called? Just said fuck, Jailhouse Rock and Hound Dog. Also, we got a cool story about how he became an Elvis fan. Tallahassee. It was such a funny film. Like I said, all I gotta say is if you go and you see any movie this October, go see Zombieland Double Tap. It's worth it. It's worth the $10, how much you have to pay for a movie ticket, wherever you live. It's worth the amount of money. Trust me. That's all I'm gonna say for this video. JR out. And I hope you all have a good day. I will see you in the next video. And please, if you just hit that like button, and if you think I've earned your subscription, please subscribe. Press that subscribe button. It only takes 3 seconds out of your day. And I'll see you guys in the next video. JRI Reviews. Thank you for joining my Incorporated. Thank you for joining my meeting today. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a scary night, everyone.